Hey there, welcome to week 29 living on the property. So things just continue to expand in multiple ways. So what has happened this week, Kim? Well, um, a lot of things both on the land and in the house and over here with me. But let's tell you the more exciting things because a lot of the week has included rainstorms still, which is fabulous. The plants love that. It helps everybody out there, the wildlife, everything uh, thrive much better. So I'm extremely grateful for all the rain that we have been getting. Um, And of course, that reduces the amount of time that I can actually take care of things uh, out there. And so this week, in terms of me taking care of things, uh, all that really got done was I did some more trimming. Um, I had been working on trimming out the pathway again to the south fence and then to the far corner southwest fence. So I got the rest of the big weeds, the ones that are taller than I am and have, I don't know, 1 inch in diameter sort of stalks. I got those trimmed down all the way to the west fence. So now I can just go back with the trimmer mower and finish that up not when it's not raining. I can take out the trimmer mower and take care of that. Um, this coming week, I'll probably work my way down to the corner southwest corner and just get that trimmed up a little bit. So that happened. I have continued to manage all the plants and harvest all the plants, and um, I cannot even tell you the amount of peppers that I now have. The peppers went wild. That was what happened with the peppers. So, peppers went wild. They have been just popping both here and in the big garden. So, that's been that's been the absolute biggest harvest that I have been doing. And this week is about harvesting. I know I've said this before, but really now I've got to get to it. This week is about harvesting all the basil and trimming a bunch of stuff down, particularly here in the kitchen garden where everything's growing like crazy, except for what? The tomatoes. Yes. The tomato seems to be um, the world where my lessons are living right now because there's blight on the tomatoes over in the big garden, and there were bugs here that really stressed out the tomatoes in the smaller garden, and now it seems to have some other kind of infestation. So um, it'll all get figured out with time. But I'm going to tell you about the most exciting part of the week. So, if you've been following, you know that I announced that there was a young woman coming here. She had been referred to me by my friend Victoria, and she is a landscaper by trade, and as I found out yesterday, comes from a really extraordinary family background. Her mother's side of the family, farmers, tobacco, corn. They go all the way back to indigenous roots, and then her father's side of the family, which is builders, landscapers, land movers, uh, that world. So she's got it all, like completely well rounded in the whole world that it would take to be able to create things here on the land. So thank you, Victoria. Uh, it was just the perfect connection. So she did come here yesterday, and we spent several hours talking, and it was such extraordinary conversation. She is completely aligned with what I'm up to. All the way down to making sure that, of course, everything is organic, that we're not using any chemicals on the property, making sure that we're creating habitats and little ecosystems throughout the property, both for the humans that will be here, but for the wildlife that will be here. And so, we talked about all of that. We talked about future plans, where I originally was headed with creating a community here of artistic women. Um, so it was just an extraordinary conversation. It was extraordinary getting to know her. Um, really, really bright, forward thinking woman. And has all the skills and the know-it-all to handle the things that um, I was really wanting to get handled. When we got down to what's probably the most important thing first, to me, a lot of that looks like clearing some in the woods, at least clearing some paths and beginning to um, see more of that 7 acres that sits out in front of me here um, that I haven't spent I haven't spent any time working on it or doing anything with it. It's pretty much just sat there since I bought the property back in 2023, and since I've lived here at the very end of December in 2025, since I've lived here, I've been just dealing with life things and handling whatever came up that week that needed to be handled. Starting with um, actual freezing temperatures and below 20-degree temperatures in Florida. Who'd have thought that that could even happen? Not me, and I've lived in Florida my whole life, but I have lived in Tampa and south, down into South Florida, not further north than Tampa, which this is on the west central coast. So, um, there's just been a lot to handle and acclimate to, and this is not the life that I came from. Um, I I have lived 50 something years of my life ever since I left my parents' home at 17. Um, I have lived in apartments and then in condos. So I have been a tall building condo dweller almost my entire life. And this world, the world of land and property, um, it feels like it has some ancient knowledge to me, but to this human being, it also feels like it's all very new, and I don't know from day to day how to do things or how to handle things or just the how to's. The how to's. I don't ask why very often. Mostly I'm going, how do I do this? How do I do that? How does that happen? So, um, Ms. Tori, who showed up here, she has the house, and we're gonna roll with that, and we're gonna do something kind of interesting where she is going to come stay on the property for several days out of the week, and then she will go back to where uh, she lives a little further south in St. Petersburg over the end of the week and the weekends so that she can take care of her life and other clients and other things that she needs to handle. Um, but when that came out of her mouth about staying on the property, at first I was like, well, that's a novel concept that I have somebody else here. Huh. Okay. I'm I'm like I'm thrilled. And how does that all work? Because I do not have um, I have electricity and I have water here in the tiny house, and up here uh, irrigation for the big garden comes from several 100-foot garden hoses that go from my well over there. And I have no electricity anywhere else on the property at this point in time. So, uh, what that looks like is she seems to love the outdoors. She seems to dig the idea of actually camping out here. I'm like, okay, whatever it is whatever it is that you need. I mean, I'm pretty clear that this is a 382 square foot tiny house. And it does have electricity, and it does have water, and it does have a full bath, and it does have a kitchen. And, it actually does have room for 2 people to sleep in it. We can make anything work, in other words. And I think she's gonna try to pitch her 6-person tent um, and actually hang out on the ground. And that is fabulous, and I've got generators, and I've got tarps, and I've got all kinds of things, and it sounds like she's pretty prepped herself to be able to be, self-sustaining, and we're just gonna we're just gonna roll with this and see what happens. So, Kim, when does all this start? Uh, it will start this coming week. So I believe she is coming here this coming Sunday, the 2nd of August, here in the US. I believe she's coming here on Sunday to set up and get ready. And then this will be the first week that she works on the property. And um, I'm actually so excited about it, I can't even tell you. Now, what my life looks like, by the way, is that Monday through Saturday, I actually do I work. I have my own business. I am a life coach and a business coach. I work with a lot of entrepreneurs, and that business is global. I have clients all over the world. So I am mostly sitting in this seat on the phone because I do all of my coaching conversations, my coaching calls on the phone. And I am mostly from about 8 o'clock in the morning until 11, sometimes 12 o'clock at night, with several little breaks in between. I am mostly sitting here talking to my clients all day, all night. And on Saturday, I get a half day. On Saturday, uh, I I end my last call around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, sometimes 6 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. So Saturday night, Sunday, and then Monday mornings are that's my time down. So interestingly enough, then what this will look like is um, she will be showing up and working like Monday through Thursday morning, and then she'll be doing her thing, and I will have the weekends still to do my thing. So we won't be treading on top of each other. Both of us will be freed up to do whatever it is that we need to do. And now that I've had just a little time to think about our conversation, uh, I I really I like the concept a whole lot. It enables me to uh, be here in case there's any questions or anything that she needs. Uh, she'll have keys and be able to come and go, and she'll be out there doing doing her thing, working while I'm working. Yeah. So, um, that's the new Freedom Acres game that gets to start next week. Um, I have not known how things were gonna move forward. I had a lot of people right up under my wing when all of this started. Like I said, back at the beginning of 2023, and then interesting things have happened. Like, Davis, my real estate agent, um, handy woman, um, she picked up and moved to the south of France. Lauren, who is my gardening person and still my gardening partner, still my gardening person, my garden guru. She's a master gardener. She's been dealing with things in her life. Um, so you know, things have shifted around quite a bit since it took so long to get on the property. And the Nair, who played the part of my mortgage broker and then put on another hat and played the part of my general contractor. She and her guys helped me with the building and getting everything where I could actually finally get through the permitting and live here. But, she and her company and her guys, they live in Tampa and they mostly work um, mm, Hillsborough, Pinellas, Pasco County, and then they go down and work Dade County. So this is quite a trip for them, and they can't always make it up in this direction in between other jobs. So I've known that I need to start creating who's going to play on the property with me. And lo and behold, I think that that's an appropriate way to say it. Who's going to play on the property with me? Because I think that Tori has a like-minded dream for herself to grow community, form community on a piece of land, and um, that's something I believe that she is working towards. So at a later point, I am sure that I will get Tori in front of the camera and let you guys meet her. But let it suffice to say that Freedom Acres now gets to take some very new turns. So hopefully this week, I in the mail arrives uh, the new credit card, which is interest free, that I'm going to use to um, get the shed, which means that I should be able to call them up, finalize that order, and then know an ETA on when the shed will be delivered. Um, then next moves, of course, are Tori shows up this coming weekend. Very soon after the shed arrives, I need to make a trip to St. Pete with a U-Haul and bring the rest of my stuff that's been in storage there, bring it here and get it into the shed so that I then have my entire life here on the property. And the the shed in St. Pete is a 10 by 5. It's not an enormous shed, and probably about half of that will go away once I'm able to go through it. But at least I'll have all of that stuff here so that I can finish sorting and minimizing and going through all of that. And then the shed will serve as a bit of a storage space for things like the tools that I need up near the house, um, all of my generators and batteries and solar panels that are over in the storage shipping container will get moved here so that I have easy access to them in case there's a grid problem and I need to get to things. So there'll just be a lot of movement that starts happening now. And um, I thank you again, any of you that are still following along. I know some of my personal friends are still following along. For any of you that I have never personally met, thank you. I appreciate you doing that. Um, it's very there's something very cool about talking into the camera and knowing that there'll be various people listening along the way. And I feel like I continue to have a lot to say, but I've been so busy that you've been spared. You've been spared that. Um, so for now, it just continues to be me, the 68-year-old woman who's decided that she's going to buy 10 acres of Florida woods and go live in a tiny house on it and create beautiful things and um, garden be a guardian of the land and the wildlife and grow community. So here we have it. That's what I am. And then Gracie here, my forever companion. So Gracie, Gracie, it's time. So Gracie and I, she loves me. Look how much she loves me. Gracie and I, we send you freedom for yourself and your life from Freedom Acres. Everybody gets to grab onto their own source of freedom, which, by the way, is always right here inside of us. And we also send you peacefulness, because in the particular era that we are living in right now, it does occur so chaotic, and it does occur in a lot of ways that people that I know and people in my life and some of my clients, well, there's a lot going on and it's a lot to deal with. So I send all of you peacefulness, deep peacefulness to hold on to in here. And then, of course, as always, Gracie and I, we send you love. Tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of love. So we will be back next week, and Tori will be on the property. And good God, a new era at Freedom Acres begins. So, whoop, tilt. So we'll see you soon. Yeah, we'll see him soon. Okay. All right. Big love. Bye.